Okay, so now I think what I want to do is show you how you can make a Chloropleth map where you can actually, with real data, I guess, right? So far we've been using this made up popularity data. Now I'm going to make one with real data from Excel. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to Excel. Oh, no, I'm going to start off, I needed to find a CSV file, right, with all countries. So I just Googled Excel file or CSV file with all the countries. And so I took this is actually from Google developers, okay, developers.google.com. And so this has like all the countries in the world according to Google. And I copied those in and I pasted those into an Excel file right here. And there were a couple that Excel didn't recognize, so I deleted those columns. And basically, you just have to click here and say I want to make this geographic data, and it figures out okay. It looks at its server, and it figures out the country, and it has the updated population. This was population here. And again, to get that, all I did was I click on this plus button here, and you can insert things like population, physicians per thousand. I just did population for now. Click on that, and it filled in the population there, and I just clicked that and dragged it down. And now I have basically every country in the world. All right. Now, notice that when I go to my text editor, I need to have this is like a JavaScript sort of data storage thing where you have a bar and then the list of the country is a string and then this is not popularity anymore, it's population. Well, right now it is popularity, but I'm going to turn it into population. So I'll edit that. So population. And then I'm going to list the country. So I need to have in the form bracket, quotation mark, name, country name, and then quotation mark, comma, and then number, and then bracket, and a comma. So to do that in Excel, what I had to do was I had to go first over here, and because this is well, let me just show you. What I tried to do was use an equal sign formula and do quotation bracket, quotation mark, quotes, then ampersand, and then the entry. I originally did D2 and it didn't work. I'll show you that. If I do D2, I get this error. It says value, and I didn't really know why. And I figured, well, maybe it's just because this has that geography thing. Maybe I just need to get the name. And so that's what I did is I clicked here and I hit plus, and one of the options was country name. So I clicked on that, and now you can see that in the next open space, it put Andorra over there. So that's what all I had to do was take that and drag it down, okay? And then rather than use D2 there, I had to just make that F2. So now it's F2, and then E2 is the population, and now I get exactly the format that I need, and I can just copy and paste that. So I'm just going to scroll down, and it looks pretty good so far. Seems like I have every country's name and population stored in this preferred JavaScript format. Okay, so go all the way down. I guess there are 243 countries in the world, according to Google. Okay, so then all I have to do is highlight this region right here and paste that. And notice when I paste it into my editor, it doesn't look pretty. JavaScript won't care, but if I want to look at it, I can do Control or Alt Shift F, and that automatically reformats it. It makes it look nice in my IDE. Notice that I got a field error there. That's probably because for that particular country, it didn't have its name stored. Okay, I'm going to delete that. Okay, and now I'm just going to hit run and see what happens. Okay, so it looks like there was an error, but let me go and let me show you what it looked like. Okay, so that actually looks pretty good. Now, if I refresh it, it shows up as a blank page. That just tells me that the JavaScript didn't compile correctly. And now it tells me what the error is. Uncaught syntax error, private field, hashtag field must be declared. And so what's going on there is there's one more place in this code where Excel must not have had a name for that. So I should just delete, I guess that would be row 44 or something in that code. Right after Bhutan, I didn't have that. So let me go back and show you that in Excel. If I scroll up, I bet you right after Bhutan, yeah. So this country right here, the Bouvet Island, it doesn't have all the information. So I'm just going to delete that that entire row moving forward because I don't want that error to show up. And there was another one where I had a field error there. It's probably another little tiny country or territory that doesn't have all the information it needs in Excel. Probably be faster for me to search for Control F, hashtag field. No, didn't find that. Maybe if I just look for field. Maybe if I do find all. No. Says it couldn't find what I was looking for. Interesting. Good. Well, I know it's in there somewhere. There was another missing field one. It's not terribly important. I'll find it. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. So that is Palestinian Authority, PS. Okay, so I'm going to delete that as well. All right. So that now should be data that I can just copy and paste in my JavaScript file and it should work. So let's see if I fix this now. If I just hit run, another instance, sure. Debug anyway, sure. Let's see if that fixed it. Yeah, fixed it. Okay, so now I have a Chloropleth map with population, and you're going to see that I ran into an interesting issue here that China and India are so much more populous than the rest of the countries that everyone else just looks like gray. I mean, you got Brazil, the US, and Russia. Those all have hundreds of millions of people. I guess Nigeria has 200 million. Egypt has 110. But you basically have to be over 100 million just to even be close to India or China. So that shows again that we already knew that those countries were major outliers when it came to population, but you can see that clearly here. And so I might have to tweak my bins or something if I wanted to make the other countries look a little darker there. But that's a problem for another video. I just wanted to show you that you could, in fact, take real data from Excel and insert it into a Chloropleth map. And I also showed you that trick of using, honestly, you just have to probably Google, like, how would I export two columns into a format that looks like this? And that's where I got the formula. And I just had to check to make sure that I had a name and a name there. So drag it down, and now I have all that data to make my first Chloropleth map of world population. Okay, so now that I've done that, let's go back to my Google Sites again. All I'm going to do is I'm going to Control A, Control C that entire JavaScript file because I now know it. Well, it's actually an HTML file with JavaScript in it. I know that that will make a nice map. So maybe I'll add in here another text box. Here is a world. This is a Chloropleth map. Doesn't need to capitalize. Chloropleth, that just means a map where the countries are filled in by color. It's a Chloropleth map of world population. China and India. Dominate the world population chart. I'll just say there are major outliers. Okay, and again, I'll add an embedding, and I have to embed the code. There's the HTML code, and hit next, and insert. Resize it. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, and maybe publish it. Awesome. And that doesn't matter. And now I can preview it, and you can see we have the world popularity, and then we have world population. So now you can see America has 333 million right now. Brazil has 215 million. Nigeria has 218 million. Ghana has 33 million. Russia has 144. China has 1.4. And India is the most populous country with 1.417. So that's over a billion people, right? That's 1,417 million or 1.4 billion people in India. All right. Thank you so much for your